Yeah. I think it's safe to say our rotor's trashed. Here's what our pads look like. Absolutely nothing left to them. Folks, back with another one. Today we got a 2016 GMC Terrain. We're going to be doing some front brakes, pads, and rotors. Tools you're going to need be a T30 here for this torque screw that holds the rotor in place. We're going to need, this is a 14 for your caliper bolts here and here. And to remove your caliper bracket, you got 19 here, excuse me, 18, and another 18 down here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is get this torque screw out of here. And sometimes these things will be a little tough to get out of here. They're frozen here. You can try whacking it with a hammer, put a little shock to it. What I like to do is take a propane or a MAP gas torch and just heat it up real good. Usually comes right out of there. So as soon as I get this loose, I'll be back. Alright, with any luck, this should come right out of here. There we go. A little heat cures the problem. That'll come right on out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and get this loose. Then I'm going to move over here to our caliper bolts. All right. That's what that looks like there. And that is our caliper bracket. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this other pad out of here because it looks like these clips are in pretty rough shape. Well, essentially what I'm going to have to do, get the pads out of here, get the clips out, and I'm pretty sure what I'm going to find is there will be a huge amount of rust buildup, particularly in this area here, and we got to get all of that surface cleaned up to put our new pads in. I got my rotor off. We can see around our wheel hub here there is a bit of rust buildup. What you want to do is take a piece of sandpaper or a wire brush and get all of this excess rust off of here if it's excessively rusty, because you want your rotor to have a smoother surface as possible to mate to. What I do is I buy these little brushes from AutoZone, these wire brushes, and they work great because you can get up in small spots and just knock off any kind of loose rust particles or stuff that's on there. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, and I'll be right back. All right, got my clips out of my caliper bracket, and I was right. There was a ton of rust built up in there. So what I did was took the little wire brush and cleaned it up real good. So we got a nice smooth surface for our clips to go in there. And you also want to do is make sure that these pins are not frozen in place. These things need to move back and forth freely and twist as well. So as you can see, both of mine are free and twisting. So what I'm going to do next is get my rotor back in place, and I'm going to get my new clips here. Somebody's killing me here. and these will pop right back in place. Into our caliper bracket like so. So I'm going to put all this back together, and I'll be back when I get to that point. Got my caliper bracket in place with my rotor. Now what I'm going to have to do is compress the piston inside of the caliper to get our new pads in there. So again, I'm going to use the same usual tool. I'm going to put that in there like that. And we're just going to twist this until that piston flattens out inside of the bore all the way up against the back of there. And this tool you can get at AutoZone or any of the parts stores. They should have it. It's about 10 bucks. If you want to go Snap-on, you can go that way. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, but you'll get a more reliable tool. It's a little rough doing this with one hand. And as you can see, the piston is working its way back in. Just about there. Hopefully we won't have an air bubble in our boot. No, looks like it's going in nice. We'll see. Right, that's all the way in. There we have it. Piston's pushed all the way back into the bore. And now we can put our caliper back in place. There we have it. Get our screws started in here. Get the bottom one in. A little bit of corrosion on that one. And we're going to tighten those down. And when I get that all tightened up, I'll be back. Have it. Now let me go over the tools you're going to need here. This Torx bolt is a T30. These caliper bolts here are a 14. And the caliper bracket bolts back here are an 18. You will definitely need some form of piston compression tool. And that about sums that up. If this helped you out any, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll be back for the next one.